Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the 3 different ways that you can really support your teammates, especially on a map like Mirage, right, where there's a lot of different parts of the map, a lot of different places where you can take map control, and so this, obviously, it's one of the more played maps, so hopefully these can actually be implemented into your own gameplay. So when you're thinking about helping out your teammates and supporting your team, most of you, like the lowest level of that, the lowest tier, is just flashing out on an execute, right? So let's say you're the guy who's throwing the CT smoke, you throw that, and then you go, okay, I'll flash over. The lamp flash is probably the most standard one that you can throw. Lots of people like to throw this, but just really any flash over, right? And that's okay. Let's flash, and then we can go out on the site. Makes sense, right? You want to flash before you run out onto a big. Well, go out through a big angle. Couple notes on how to make this a little bit better, right? Make sure that the flash that you're throwing is actually decent. And what I mean by that is, get into an offline, right? Throw a flash, and then go, okay, is that something that's like I can turn from as a CT? So you're gonna rethrow it, and you're like, oh, okay, I can kind of see that coming the whole way. Obviously, it's a little difficult since I had the line on, right? But since there's this much visibility, it's like, oh, okay, that pops really far up. Like, I see that the whole way. I can quickly turn from that. Compared to, a pretty standard flash, right? Where it's something like that, and it's like, oh, I didn't really see that one coming as well, right? If I'm playing right here, I'm not seeing it. But then, it doesn't blind me as much, right? So it's not as good of a flashbang. It's more for like people closer onto site, right? Like that. So making sure that the flashes you actually throw are good is one way to be better, support your teammates better. The second thing is to make sure that the smokes are landed prior to you throwing the flash, and make sure that your teammates are actually going out when they should be. So, for example, you throw the CT smoke, right? You don't immediately throw a flash over, because that flash is popping, and then your teammates are supposed to go out, but the smoke wasn't even down yet, right? So normally, what you want to do is you want to have smoke go out, then, guy throws jungle smoke, guys throws stair smoke, and they're running towards ramp, and you go, okay, flashing out, and then they can go out. Since the smokes are already down, yeah, you're going to lose like 3 seconds off of the smokes, but the people that they're peeking into are actually going to be blind, right? So that's something that you really want to make sure that you're doing, is flashing out once smokes are down, because I swear to God, you could get into any matchmaking game, right? And they're going to do A smokes, and somebody's going to swing out before the smokes are actually down, right? So you can't really support them like that. And you can trick your teammates into swinging out too early if you go, okay, flashing, and then they go when it pops, but the smokes aren't even down yet, right? The smokes haven't bloomed, right? So the second way, the second tier of helping out your teammates is helping them get map control, right? This is when you're playing more of a default. You're trying to take some map control here and there. You're not just going for a straight site execute. So let's say you're in mid, right? This is probably the most common thing to throw, is you get in this corner and you're going to flash them into connector, right? So this is a very nice flash into connector. And this can be also used on CT side, obviously not the same flash, right? But maybe you have a guy window, right? And he got to window a little bit late, and he's like, I don't want to peek out top mid because they could be there. Can somebody flash over mid for me, right? So you just have the guy back triple, flash over mid, or you can even flash more towards top mid, right? And it's going to help your teammate get this map control. So, like I said in the example, you flash into con, and this is for your teammates who are standing right here, and they don't have to turn from the flash, and then they can peek in, or, a teammate right here who still doesn't have to turn from the flash, and then can peek in, and it blinds people that are sitting in connector holding the angle, and they don't really have time to turn from this, so it's a very nice supportive flash. So trying to help your teammates get map control, right, is very nice. You can also, just because I've only talked about flashes so far, you can also use utility to make getting map control easier. So something like this where you're going to smoke off top connector and actually throw it properly. Let me fast forward that smoke. I haven't played Mirage in a hot minute. But so throwing a smoke so it gets top connector. I still threw it incorrectly. But you get my point. You get my point, right? The smoke's supposed to land right here. And so, yeah. Now with that flash, they don't have to clear top ticket. They don't have to clear here. They don't have to clear here, right? They only have to clear what's inside a connector. You can even, third time's the charm on this this smoke, fourth time's the charm on this smoke, right? You can even do that, and then molly, right, just to maybe clear this angle out. You can molly on the left here, clear that out. So you can use your utility to help your team. Another thing is, let's say that you guys are coming out for an A execute, and you have your normal stairs, jungle, CT smoke going. Having a guy underpass that can, you know, he's going to be flanking, he's going to be coming up behind the connector guys, he's going to be waiting for the cat guy to jump down, right? He can also throw a molly like this, which will get into... God damn, I should have warmed up my util before this, boys. Right? And this is going to get into deep jungle, and this means that they can't just sit behind this smoke, right, and peek, or wait for this smoke to come down if it hasn't come down yet, right? They can't peek there because the molly's down. So then they get pushed off. Or if they're sitting here waiting, like holding for the jump right here or something, holding right here, that molly spreads, then they're forced out, and they're taking some damage, softening them up for the people coming out A. And then the third way that you can support your teammates is much later in the round. It's post-plant. So let's stick with the A site execute idea. So, or example. So we got top stairs, we got CT, we got jungle smokes, right? Bomb's been planted. And then you want to start taking map control, because the last thing you want to do is just sit here and let the CTs walk into you. Because the CTs are going to be like, okay, there's probably a guy here, probably a guy here, maybe a guy palace. And those are going to be the first things that they clear, right, when they're coming out. And if you're just sitting in these spots, it makes it a lot easier for them to retake, since you completely cut out the whole like having to find where the T's are playing part, since you're just playing in the most basic spots. So if you have two teammates here and they're like, okay, let's take CT control, you go, okay, I can flash CT for you, right? So throwing a flash like that, even one a little bit deeper so they can swing out and they don't really have to turn from it, right? That's going to allow them to take this map control, but post-plant. So holding on to that utility is always, always very important for post-plants, and using it to your advantage, right? If you have two flashes left over and you're on A site post-plant, it shouldn't be, okay, I'm playing for myself, I'm going to flash this, and my teammates are going to get blind while I peek. No, it should be, you guys want to take CT? I got a flash. Okay, go. Right? And then the CT guys are blind, and they can start taking that map control. So that's all I have for today. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good day, and I will see you all next time.